Hey guys, welcome back to the Almost Friday podcast, and happy Thanksgiving.
Sam Brown from Whitest Kids U Know is on. Liam, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for the food on my table and the people I'm eating it with, and having an apprentice.
Yeah, not for long.
Not for long.
Not for long. Well,
I'm joining the good guys.
I'm thankful for all of our lovely listeners, and thankful for Lauren for doing double the work this week in place of Emily, right before Thanksgiving. So, and Lauren, what are you thankful for?
Getting to go home, actually, because I didn't get to go home the last 2 years for Thanksgiving.
That is a bummer.
Stoked for that, I know.
Why didn't you go home?
I just
don't feel welcome there.
Yeah.
It
was like,
house burnt down.
Yeah. No, it was like too expensive. I like wait too long to book flights, and then I screw myself over. So
yeah, I just got robbed.
And
how much were your flights,
dude? $1,300.
No.
What?
How much were yours?
No, for Thanksgiving it was like $380, so not bad. But I'm
wow,
going
that's pretty good.
I know, but I'm going to Florida for Christmas for the first time. We're doing like a Christmas away, and that was like $800, which was
yeah, that always hurts.
Yeah, but that's $1,300's crazy.
Luckily, I had some money or something, so it was like still like $1,000.
What do you mean? Luckily, you had some money.
I had on like
you had credits,
coupons, credits.
I mean, you still have to use them, so now you don't have them. So
no, it was just like I changed flights before, and I got a cheaper flight, so I just had like $200-$300 sitting in that account.
I bet you wish you didn't miss your 2 flights from New York.
Yeah,
which we'll talk about in this pod.
Yeah. Talk about diarrhea. We talk about all good.
We do. I'll say it up front. We're pretty heavy on the body functions in the first 10-15 minutes.
Well, Sam showed up with diarrhea. Had to have diarrhea the second he got here. Yeah. We got to bring it up.
So we'll once you get through that, it's like watching a television show where your buddy's like, once you get through season 1, it's the show's so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we have some. Go on.
What's the sticker on your face? I was curious.
It's like a pimple patch.
Oh, cool. He has no idea what the trends of culture are right now.
I don't think it does anything, but it prevents me from like picking because I will just like want to pick, and that's can't do that. So.
Are you a big pimple popper video watcher?
I used to be.
Recovering.
Recovering. Not anymore. But I don't know. It just helps so I don't touch.
It's a cultural trend, right?
And they're kind of cute.
Is it?
It is, and they do like fun little shapes like stars. I usually see,
right?
Oh, that is a star.
This is like kind of a flower, but there's like yellow stars. You can get blue stars.
We should design some.
Yeah,
I have one design in mind that I think would sell like hotcakes.
Maybe with your faces on them, little like, tiny stickers.
I was just thinking mine would just be an upside down cross.
So you're so sick.
This is more sick.
The dark depths of your mind are an endless abyss, and I love watching you read. I love seeing like how deep is Culla's bag. Genuinely, no one has a deeper bag in the game right now.
I'm Vince Carter on the hoop, but it's just saying like something really homophobic, and I'm just hanging at her, and my pants are on my ankles. See my little peen.
That's killer.
Everyone goes, is that a clit? That's his dick. Check out our new Heat poster, too.
Yeah, that's fun. Now, again, this is sick.
Yeah.
I don't understand where I was when this decision was made.
I greenlit this. I went ahead. And you know what? I did not know it was going to be that big, but I do remember saying, get a Heat poster, biggest one you can find.
It looks sick.
It's awesome.
Good.
It matches the blue.
And no, the colors are like it's great.
Thank you.
If you haven't seen Heat, do yourself a favor and watch it. If you haven't seen Heat and you've seen The Dark Knight by Christopher Nolan with Christian Bale, that movie is based off of Heat. So if you like that movie, you'll like this movie even more probably.
Yeah, and if you've seen The Town is a complete ripoff of Heat, and it's a cheap adaptation.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh wait,
you don't need to see
who's in that?
Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner.
I watched that recently.
I love
Blake Lively. John Hamm.
I can't wait to see Jeremy Renner's career blossom post Marvel.
Well, he almost died. He got run over by a snowmobile.
Yeah, but he'll be back.
A truck. Snowplow.
Oh, you're right. Hawkeye, once he gets knocked down, he stays down. I forgot. What?
It's actually Ronin now because Thanos killed his family, so he turned into Ronin.
So, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, we have a very special episode. But before we get in with Sam Brown, we want to help you guys. We want to give you advice on your trips home for Thanksgiving. So you guys send in some questions. We like to go through those real quick. What you got? How do you say your last name? Is it Hoagland or
Hoagland?
Hoagland?
Yeah.
How else would you say it?
No, some people say
Hoagland?
Hoagland. Which
Really? But there's the O.
I hate. I know. Well,
I'm
that's
sorry.
good.
Did you
Thank
say there's the O?
Yeah.
Or you mean
Yeah,
there's the?
So
I feel like the A with or
the A, yeah.
If it was HA, but it's clearly.
But
O.
that's you think, and you know what's so funny is you're using your United States Americanized
My cup of
cultural horizon, and so you don't realize that there's other cultures that pronounce words differently. Isn't that weird? That
well, I think it actually comes from like a Swedish. It's like Hogland. You know the O with the dots on the top.
Mhm.
It's like that.
So it comes from Hogland.
I think it.
You're Swedish?
No.
What are you?
I'm Irish.
Shut up. That's the best one.
German. I don't know. I took I did the ancestry DNA thing, but I forgot.
So it's originally pronounced Hogland.
I did Ancestry DNA shit.
Do you feel like I'm not high-fiving you.
I did the Ancestry DNA shit. It was stuff that didn't exist. It was just like letters I've never seen and stuff that like colors that aren't even real yet, but they will be or they were.
I'm trying to use my body language to show you the conversation's over. Is it working? I'm trying to use my body language to show you that what you're saying is dragging on, and I want to get to the questions.
All right. Do you want to do these ones?
Oh yeah, we start these.
Sure.
Okay.
How do I tell my dad that my mom is tell my dad that I'm mom and dad are telling me?
Well, first to tell mom or dad, telling them to make sure when the flight's for home. So the landing, make sure that landing past time for when you sit at the table to talk to them, table time. Now, tell mom or dad. Mom probably sweets, dad probably a little anger, probably a little mom tell mom. Then make sure mom or mom either tell them to dad to say hi. This is situation. Situation now, cleaner. Mom, dad, either lets to know the brothers, lets to know the sisters. Maybe.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Next. How do I stop my stepdad from calling me names in front of all of my cousins?
I mean, it's going to happen behind your back.
Take a full wine bottle and hit him just on the base of his skull to the point where he's snoring. It's not like a healthy sleep snore. It's like an unconscious, might not ever get up snore where it's like his whole body's kind of like. And then just like be like, don't call me that again.
Just make sure you say that part really calm.
And then when you
really calm,
say, don't call me names anymore. And when your mom's crying, go, why are you crying? Do you love him more than you love me? I'm your fucking son.
I say you don't curse. I say you grab another wine bottle and you go, Mom, what's wrong? Mom, what's wrong? Mom, you're scaring me.
Chug the one you just hit him with, like to the point where like you're puking, but you're not stopping. And look at mom and go.
I think that's reasonable.
Next.
What do I do when the conversation inevitably gets too political this Thanksgiving? That's a tough question. One I'm going to have to deal with.
Really?
Now, okay, I know it's become a meme, side note, where it's like Thanksgiving conversations get political, family gets ruined. Does that happen to your family?
I am from the most unserious family of all time. Nobody fucking cares. Except for my mom. My mom's hardcore feminist. So she's pretty pissed about all this abortion jazz.
I don't think anyone in my family, I think they all kind of have the same idea of how the world works. And I think that when someone says something crazy, everyone just ignores it and moves forward. That's how you should do it.
I just try to get my mom as mad as I can. So I'll probably go on like a pro-abortion, anti-abortion rant. Just to get her fired up.
I see.
Pro-life. I'll go
Yes.
pro-life all for as long as I can until the point where it gets quiet.
That should be pretty easy for you.
Should be.
You just have to. What's great about getting your mom upset is you just have to say what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
That's awesome.
It's like cheat code.
Cheat code.
Cheat code. Next.
Is it now acceptable to square up with Grandpa since Mike Tyson's versus Jake Paul? Like Tyson versus Jake Paul. No. Quick answer for that one. I'd say no. What do you think?
If my grandpa is pissing me off, what I do, 3 fingers, right inside his like colostomy bag hole, and I plug it. And I can wiggle in and I can feel inside him. And I can start controlling him. Just a pro tip. If he doesn't have a colostomy bag, I don't know what to tell you.
What do you do if your grandparents your grandpas are dead? Should I dig up his grave and steal his flag off his coffin?
What's the flag?
Served our fucking country.
I mean,
there won't be horns at your funeral.
I guarantee if you go back to pull that flag off, you're gonna find they laid 4 feet of cement over him and all of his buddies buried there, and they built a nice big parking lot there. Because that's how this country treats our veterans. I'll say it. I don't care. I'll actually say it.
Thank you.
What should I do when my racist uncle starts discussing QAnon theories at dinner? Are QAnon theories racist?
I don't know. Probably. Break out the notebook and start taking notes, okay? Why don't you fucking learn something? Yeah? You little privileged kid. You don't know anything about what the real world is, and your racist uncle does because he's lived it. So why don't you get past all of your shit and try to get to the root, to the core of what he's talking about.
Okay. Driving from Colorado to Florida. I want to camp along the way, but my parents think I'll get killed.
You will. You're a woman.
Oh, is she a lady?
Yeah. What are you thinking? You're gonna get serial killed.
Yeah, maybe call it off.
Or get a gun. Just buy a gun.
Oh, yeah, buy a gun.
Yeah, just buy a gun. You live in America.
You got this one.
My great-grandpa is coming down, but is extremely racist, and my boyfriend is black. Should he come too?
Yes. This could be... when I was a boy, there was a club at our school where they would... not really a club. This shouldn't have happened, but they would put these really aggressive spiders in a tank and watch them fight. And...
Wait, where was this?
At my high school.
Where'd they get the spiders?
Yeah, it was a lot of wildlife around our campus.
So someone would go and collect spiders.
Yeah, and one of the teachers would put the club on. It was actually pretty fucked up. She was like, you can't say anything. And
a girl?
Sure. And
fought spiders?
They had a club, and then spiders would fight, and this is what that reminded me of.
Was that teacher hot?
Her soul was gorgeous. One of the most gorgeous souls.
No. Body physically, though? What was her container like? The container for her soul?
Don't know.
You don't know? You don't remember?
I see through people. I don't see...
Come on, be honest with me.
I see amorphous blobs from everyone in this room. I just see 2 gorgeous souls. A light, a powerful energy emanating from you both.
'Cause you're talking about a woman who's teaching at an all-boys high school who is also the founder of the Spider Fight Club.
I don't know if she was the founder.
I'm just picturing the most angelic, hot-looking human being I've ever seen in my life. Because I don't know. That's just how I'm... Do you get...
Yeah.
Picking up what I'm putting down there?
Yep.
Sure. Next.
Yep.
Wait. What do you think?
Dude, just... I don't know. I mean, like, he's your great-grandpa? What is he going to be? Not racist? So, like, yeah, what are you going to do? What's a good text to send an ex on Thanksgiving to get back at them? How about, Gwen, you should probably get an SD check because I have something that's incurable.
Clip that, Lauren. That made me giggle.
I think my family hates me because I'm never sober. Shut up, Gordy. Fuck you. Next.
God, you're on a tear, brother. I love it. Next. What else you got, Liam? How to talk to your aunt after what your uncle did.
In my religion, I can't talk to women when they're alone, so... Next, I guess. Due to work schedules, fam is celebrating on Saturday. What do I do on Thanksgiving itself? Watch football and jack off and then fall asleep. Jopo.
My aunt has a huge goiter on her neck and it makes everyone uncomfy. Should I say something? Now that is actually a horrible situation.
What's a goiter? Oh. It's like a cancer thing?
No. I think it's a thyroid thing.
My dad had one when he had thyroid cancer. Like a giant.
TMI, dude.
Yeah, true.
You're like, you're oversharing.
Yeah, facts. Next.
I'm thankful for you.
I'm
I
thankful
really
for you,
am.
Too.
Ow! How do I trick my family into thinking I'm not stoned from a little nature walk? Wow, 420! Now this is a situation you and I are in.
Next.
This is yeah. I have to recover from that cough for a second.
How do I know if it's appropriate to invite the girl over for Thanksgiving dinner? If she's not mad at you for not inviting her, then it's not time to invite her. How to navigate an immigrant uncle telling me that Americans are weak for the 100th time. He's
right. What are you talking about?
Is it weird to invite divorced parents to the same dinner? Only if they fuck.
Okay, next. My mom divorced my dad when I was 4 for hitting her. How can I rekindle their love? This is a mountain to climb.
No. There's a solution here.
You know what's so interesting? This is what gets me excited. Is I know there actually is an answer. It's tough to find.
How can I?
And somewhere, you know what I love? Somewhere, there's a script here.
Yeah.
There's a film here, and I'll sniff it out, and I'll sell it to the biggest studio in Hollywood.
Take them to an escape room, and maybe that them working together, their teamwork could rekindle things, or maybe one of those break rooms.
That's what I was going to say.
They smash stuff.
Mm-hmm. But give him. He didn't get a helmet.
Yeah, ropes course. Took a team building ropes course.
A ball pit, the deepest ball pit on the planet.
Yes, that would be good. Trust fall. Maybe if they just had a couple of, just have them do trust falls.
Well, guys, thanks for your questions. Hopefully our advice was helpful.
Hope so.
Let's get into it with Sam Brown.
Welcome back to the Almost Friday podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Sam Brown. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, hey. Thank you so much for coming. I mean, obviously we did a sketch together, but we're huge fans, so it's always fun.
Yeah, that was so fun to do that. That was really funny because I remember going into that and not really like paying attention to like, someone was like, "Hey, you want to be in the sketch?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I came in and I was like, "So what's this now? What do you get?" And then the sketch came out and there was like, I was like, "Oh, you guys have like millions of viewers?" Like, it was like, I should have tried.
No, you crushed. Well, that's the best part is you crushed it.
Yeah, I like came in and I was like, "What? I big dogged you guys."
Yeah,
This is some fucking sketch things.
You walked up to where I was sitting. You go, "This is my chair today." And
Yeah,
I said, "Okay, all right, I guess." And then you just broke it. You broke the chair. You didn't sit in it.
I wouldn't have done that had I known you had followers. Like,
I introduced myself. I said, "Hi, my name's Will," and you said, "It won't come up again."
Why? Why?
Why would you tell me that?
Yeah. And then you big leagued us again today. You showed up and you had diarrhea.
Yeah.
That's a pretty power move.
That's our thing.
Yeah, that's our thing.
I have
Oh wait, here let's
diarrhea.
Oh, yeah.
move that a little closer.
There is a chance I will go to the bathroom in my pants during this show, or have to be like, "Stop! I need to run." I woke up at 5 a.m. just randomly. Had diarrhea, and I live on, people who don't live in LA don't get how bad this can be. I live on the east side of town, which LA is known for its traffic, and definitely was worried about the possibility of getting stuck on the highway with diarrhea. So I packed a go bag of I
love it.
Change of clothes.
A Bible,
a change of underwear,
including glasses.
yeah. It's like, you never know, it can flash up. No, but I also did bring a second pair of pants, and I also brought one of my son's diapers.
Oh, genius!
Just in case, if you're stuck, you go, and a thing of his wipes.
Well, this is like, NFL players would literally shit themselves on the field.
Really?
Oh yeah, there's like do you watch the NFL at all?
Yeah.
Like Russell Wilson, I know famously has a story where he like you can watch like his like fourth quarter like 2-minute drive, and he's like, yeah, I was having diarrhea like a dog the whole time on that drive. Like it's awesome.
These
I've
marathon
never
runners.
realized. It's funny though. I've run a marathon before when I was like much healthier than now, and it's like when you do that, it's like one of like the craziest like lifestyle changing things you can do.
Sure.
And people find out and they'll be like, "Oh, you ran a marathon?" You'll be like, "Yeah," and they'll be like, "So did you shit yourself?" And it's like immediately.
Can you pull up the Davis Clark? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh my God, yeah.
You'll enjoy this, but continue, please.
But it's immediately like, "Oh, you think you're better than me?" Oh, yeah. Marathon runners, they shit themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, no, I stopped to go to the bathroom. Like, there's porta potties the whole way.
You don't want to know. This guy's kind of like a motivational influencer type guy, and he ran a marathon, and he just posted this one day. One more. That's
56 is a good time.
That's like a quart of blood dripping down his leg.
Like, one of the top comments is Boston Marathon bomber. Oh.
There was a video of a girl running a marathon recently, and she's coming up on this camera, and she was like, "Do not show my butt. Don't show my ass, please. I just shit my pants. Please keep it on in front of me." And I was like, at that point, I'd rather them just like show my shit.
Yeah.
I'm announcing that I've shit my pants.
One funny thing is like, I ran the New York Marathon, and where you start is the Verrazano Bridge, which is usually like cars going over it. And there was a ton of people like, and that's like right at the beginning, but I guess you're waiting around to start, but there was a ton of people who were pissing off the side. And it seemed more like hey, this is the one chance I have to do this.
True.
It was just piss off the side of this tall bridge.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking awesome.
I'm so sorry. We have a publicity person here with me, and immediately I'm like, so shit and piss.
That's our whole pod, though. It's like grime, sludge,
Sludge, mud, goop.
Yeah.
Cool.
Any sort of liquids your body produces is kind of what we focus on.
I'm very poop positive.
Yeah.
You know?
We are too.
And I mean, the bottom line is I'm prepared for shitting my pants. I know that there's a possibility out there.
When's the last time it happened?
I went surfing, and I was in the car and was right by Target in West Hollywood, and I thought I had a fart. Turned out to be more than a fart. Pulled right into Target. Went and bought a pair of underpants. Went straight into the bathroom. Waited for the 4 kids that were in the bathroom to leave, and put on the underpants and left.
That's the greatest thing for
Threw away my soiled underwear.
the Target cashier to see you buying one pair of adult men's underwear and then turning back around and going into the store. Like, all right. Oh, where is he going?
Adult men's underwear.
Adult men's. It would have been worse if it was.
Yeah, if it was
Some
Spider-Man.
SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I've brought this story up before, but I had in a similar situation where I was like in a kayak with a guy I didn't know. It was a friend of a friend, and we were in Seaside, Florida, about 15, 20 minutes out, paddling in the ocean.
Wait, what was the situation that you were in a kayak with a guy that you didn't know?
We were with a group of
Excellent
friends.
question.
We were with a group of friends, and everyone wanted to kayak, and it's a 2-person kayak. And so obviously I got picked last, and he was probably pretty bummed. He was probably just waiting for that whole situation to be over. And I was out there, and I had to have diarrhea so bad. I had to turn and like learn about this guy. And like, I basically had to be like, hey, I hate to do this, but I have to get out and have diarrhea right now. And I jump in the ocean, and I'm doing this sort of starfish movement, like propelling myself like a jellyfish while he watches. And we never talked about it again.
He watched?
Yeah, we were right there.
I mean, why not turn away? Give you some
I
privacy.
think he got some sort of sick pleasure from it, some sort of power thing.
It's like bridesmaids. It's like, look away.
It's like, yeah.
And also, I'm just
Shit.
He's just picking it up with his paddle,
Yeah.
putting it back down.
yeah, it's
You're a
great.
dirty jellyfish, aren't you?
And I never really thought about it until now, but he probably told everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's not
I
a
didn't even-
story that you're like, I'm not going to tell anyone
I'm
about
gonna
this.
be cool for him. Keep it a secret.
Being in a kayak with someone you don't know is a really hilarious premise. It's like you just wake up like
Yeah.
Yeah.
when it's just you and this other guy waking up the same time inside of a kayak. It's like Saw.
Like you're like, oh man, I really want to go kayaking. And you see this other guy who has the same look in his eyes. You're like, hey, this might be weird, but you want to go kayaking? Yeah. More than anything. I once was on tour and we were, I forget what this, you're from Texas?
From Dallas, yeah.
There's this chain of restaurants that's like basically like Friendlies.
Yeah.
Friendlies. But like in the Midwest, it was called something like Freeman's or something like that.
Okay.
And I ate there and I was driving across like Minnesota with Timmy and
Shout out Timmy.
Whitest Kids, Timmy.
They know.
We love you. And I smoked a joint because someone gave me a joint on tour. And about half hour after, like, we like, left, I like did the whole like turn to him, like, hey, next bathroom there is, pull over. Just felt the like, and then he immediately got pulled over. Like lights behind us. I'm high, and I also have another joint in my pocket. And then the cop like came over instead of to his side, came over to my side, and like it was like that like whole like you're on the wrong side, ma'am. Like she knows. And I'm just trying not to shit myself. And she took his license, went back to the thing, came back like 5 minutes later and was like, why don't you have your license? And he was like, yeah, I gave you my license. And she was like, but where's your real license? And he was like, that's my real license. And they're having this weird interaction. And she goes, all right, I'm going to go back. And she goes, she's back in that cop car for a half hour. For a half hour. We're just on the road in the side of, and I was like, am I like, like things go through your mind. Like if I have to shit, do I sit here in the front seat and just shit my pants? Or do I run out into this open field and go like, I just had to go.
Open fire on you.
Don't shoot.
Yeah.
Like, what's the appropriate thing to do in that? Like, I didn't, but I like held it. And after like a half hour, and like, it was funny, like Timmy was like, I'm going to give her a piece of my mind. I'm like, no, you got to play it cool, man, for me, please. And she came back, and apparently it was some like mix up where his license expired and he got just like a brand new driver's license. Like his New York license expired and he got a South Dakota one or something. And then I was like, she's like, all right, go on your way. And I was like, hey, I just ate at Freeman's and it didn't go well. And she was like, oh. And I was like, where's the nearest bathroom? And she's like 10 miles down the road.
Yeah.
And it's like crazy because it's like I've never wanted someone to speed more in a situation where it was inappropriate for them to speed. Go to the rest station. It's like one of those like single stall toilets with like a urinal that's outside the stall. But luckily, like no one was in there. I go in, I'm going, and then I hear the door open and someone walk in, and I can hear them gasp once, like, and then like another gasp of like, like I gotta hold my breath, like, and then they were gone. They were like out.
You just feel like a monster in those situations.
Yeah. the closest you come in real life to wolf manning.
Yeah.
I thought for a second you were gonna be like, Timmy's like, I'm gonna grab her gun. I'm gonna reach for her gun.
That's what it felt like, and it was like, don't. That's only gonna make things more complicated. I don't care what happens to you. It's just that I know that it's gonna take longer.
Yeah.
Wait.
This is when you were on tour, right?
Yeah, this was
What year?
I think 2013.
Guys, as you know by now, we've teamed up with BetMGM this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we have a special offer for our listeners each week. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code AFPOD, and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. Download the BetMGM app and sign in using bonus code AFPOD. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game. You will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets. If your bet loses, just make sure you use bonus code AFPOD when you sign up. Guys, don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM, use bonus code AFPOD and get your $1,500 first bet offer today. Thank you, BetMGM. Let's get back into the episode.
Were you guys just touring like a live show, like hour sketches or something?
Yeah,
or?
yeah.
When did that start? Like when you start going on tour?
So the first tour we ever did was actually when we first made the show. It was with Fuse Network. You remember Fuse?
Mm-hmm.
And when we were about to when the show was about to come out, there wasn't much that they were doing for us, but we never had a show before, so we didn't know that it was weird to not have like a big ad campaign or anything going out. And they were like, don't worry, we've got you covered. We're going to send you out on tour with Flogging Molly, the Irish punk band. Because, of course, sketch comedy, Flogging Molly. And so we were supposed to do sketches in between the two opening bands and the opening band of Flogging Molly on tour before we had a TV show. Like, no one knew who we were. And, yeah.
This is just something Emily would have never ever pulled out.
Emily would have been elbow deep in just a garbage bag of yogurt right now.
Oh, she gets the garbage bag?
Yeah,
oh,
glad scented, which like fucks with the flavor, but it's still
pours her own jelly in it. It's like, I just get plain. I just pour my own jelly.
The audio gets fucked up because she's shaking it to mix it half the time.
But so we went on tour with Flogging Molly, and the first show we had was at freshman day at Washington State University. And it was like it's light out, it's like a free show, we're like stepping up and we're like, okay, we're in an office, and like all these freshmen were like, I'm just psyched that my mom's not here.
Yeah.
And like so ready to watch us do sketch comedy. And then the second show was in Sparks, Nevada, which is like outside of Reno. And so it was like the most like gutter punk show of the whole tour.
Okay.
And as soon as we were like, okay, we're in an office, there was like a glass of whiskey thrown at us on stage. Luckily, Trevor and I, on the way over on the flight over, we were like, just like sitting next to each other, and he was like, should we come up with some stuff to do on tour? And I was like, yeah, sure. And so we came up with these bits that were like, basically like, hey, do you like Flogging Molly? And we're like, yeah. Do you like whiskey? Yeah. Then show us your butthole. And it was like the dumbest thing. And we had two bits like that, and they would take 5 minutes. And so for a month, we would just go up and either do the first bit or the second bit.
Yeah.
And just tour with these rock bands on a bus, which actually kind of sucks. Like, you think it'd be like really cool to like, but like later we would do the tours where we would drive ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Thing with the buses is you're never really anywhere. You go to a place and you like play the show, and you're there for like an hour afterwards, and like most of that's like packing up, and then you like get on the bus and you go to the next place.
How many people were on this bus? Was it you and Flogging Molly?
It was the Flogging Molly had a bus.
Oh, okay.
The opening bands had a bus, and then we were on like the auxiliary bus that was like us, someone from the record label, the tour manager, and like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool because it had Rock Band in the back.
Yeah.
We
Pretty
just
awesome.
played Rock Band.
That's
It was
pretty
like,
killer.
Oh, is that the picture of you and Trevor on your Instagram? That because you guys have one on a bus where you guys are like riding. I think Timmy's on it.
Oh yeah, that was a picture I took on. I think that was actually the Miss March tour. Now that I think about it, but yeah, because I just got a good camera on that tour.
Mm-hmm.
But then, so we like did that bus tour, and that was like doing no Whitest Kids stuff and just touring with Flogging Molly, which was weird.
When you
then
say you were doing no Whitest Kids stuff, you're saying like
Just-
you weren't doing.
we were just doing the intros like every night. We weren't.
Oh, okay.
There was actually one show at Brandeis University where we did our things, and then like there was these guys who were like, "Hey, we do a show at this coffee shop next to here. Do you guys want to do it?" And we were like, "Yeah." And so we went and did sketches at this coffee shop next to the concert that was happening, and it was like a blast.
Yeah.
But then when Miss March came out, they, to like promote Miss March, were like, you know, usually like, I guess to promote things, you'll have people fly around for the screenings and do all the press junket stuff. And so someone came up with the idea of like, hey, why don't we just pay for the Whitest Kids to have a bus, and they'll go around and they'll do a tour and to like hype it up. And we were in these buses that had Trevor and Zach's faces on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah. And that's what that picture's from. Funny story from that is we were in Boulder, and this isn't my story, but I'll tell it anyways. We were in Boulder, and we had the night off or something like that. And so Zach was like going out with our friend Josh, who was getting something from the bus. He said there's this homeless guy walking down the street, and then on the other side of the street there was this Mexican couple who were like in a big fight, and the homeless guy kept yelling at them, and he's just watching this back and forth, and the homeless guy's like walking towards him, and the homeless guy's like, "Tu madre una punta," and they're like, "Fuck you," and he's like, "Ah," and he's like long hair but bald and sweatpants. And he like walks up to Zach and he goes, "Hey, this Miss March, I've heard of this. What is this?" And he's like, "That's this movie coming out." And he's like, And then our friend Josh steps off the bus and he looks at the guy and he goes, "Jesse the Body Ventura?" And the guy's like, yeah. And it was Jesse Ventura,
Really?
who was in town promoting his his TV show.
That's fucking
Conspiracy
insane,
theory.
dude.
Wild.
That's so crazy.
And Zach mistook him for a homeless guy. Yeah. Unhoused gentleman.
That's so
Wow.
fucking funny. Holy shit.
Yeah.
You know what story you told me when we were making that sketch that made me laugh too was because you guys had a weekly sketch show in New York for like 3 years, right?
Which
Yeah.
is crazy, by the way.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
An insane amount of work.
And then that was all like season 1 kind of.
Actually, I'll do my job a little bit. And the box set, the Whitest Kids box set's coming out. We actually have, I think, like 3 shows from the first year that we were doing shows at pianos on that box set, which are crazy.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's gonna be
I haven't
sick.
even watched all of them yet. Yeah.
Wow.
Like some of them will have like the first time we ever performed sketches that made it in the show.
How
that's
did
so-
you find, like, did you always have these like archives somewhere, or did you have to seek it out?
It was crazy. My friend Jordan was like, "Hey, you know, I have these on tape." I had no idea.
Wow.
And he just sent me this file. Jordan Cooper, gotta give him credit.
Shout out.
Sent me this file of all these old shows that he had kicking around.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird when you are putting together a DVD because you kind of have to look around and be like, okay, what do we have?
Yeah.
It's like, especially nowadays where it's like you have so many old computers and old hard drives and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
hard drives, guys. Right?
oh my god.
We just got the title of the episode.
Don't get me started.
But what I was gonna say is, you told me the story when there was a band in town. And I think you guys were at a bar after the show, and you were trying to like promote the live shows or maybe promote the first season. And Trevor was like, "Oh, we should fight the band." And we'll get in the paper.
yeah. No, that was before we had a TV show. It was Phantom Planet. There was a bar that we used to hang out below Lincoln Plaza. And it was just when we were doing those shows, and he was like, "Yeah, we should fight Phantom Planet. It'll make it into page 6 that we fought Jason Schwartzman." And I was like, "I don't know if it would."
You would have to kill him, I think.
Yeah.
How far did he get into the plan before it was called off?
He was excited about it. It was that thing of like, you're at a bar and your buddy's like, "We should do this."
Yeah.
Like, we should talk to those girls.
Yes.
And you're like, I don't want to ruin
Fight
their
Jason
night.
Schwartzman.
He was like, "Yeah, let's fucking beat up Jason Schwartzman."
That's so fucking funny.
And it was like when they were just like the band that sang the OC theme.
That's some guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Dude, that's so. What was the crazy? Oh, go ahead.
Another funny thing is about like guerrilla marketing that reminds me of, that ties into the DVD, is we had like before we had that live show, we had a VHS pilot that we shot that was like 45 minutes, and the sketches were very long, and they were shot on film, which is like weird that we went through that. But like the Hitler rap was on that. But when we had the VHS tapes made up, one of the things we did was like we were in Williamsburg, and one of like the big things in Williamsburg that was happening was Vice magazine was like starting to be like a real thing. And so we taped a copy of the VHS to a 40, and Zach like walked into their offices and was like, "Hey, where are the guys?" And they like pointed to like a meeting in the boardroom, and he came in, put it down, goes, "Watch this," and walked out. And then they like in the things we like section of Vice in some issue, there's our VHS taped to a 40, and the thing is like, we haven't watched this, we don't know what it is, but how it got to us is awesome.
That's
so
fucking awesome.
And so when it came time to design the DVDs, I was like, well, what if we made it look like that VHS? So like it has like a really minimal design, and it's like these old VHSs that we used to have.
That's cool.
That's so sick.
When is that coming out again?
December 3rd.
Oh, fuck
I think
yeah.
People who've ordered it from Shout Factory already have it.
Sick.
And maybe
I saw that online.
Maybe your friends from Almost Friday
Have
can
you
get
heard
a
of the
copy.
internet? Yeah. Oh yeah. Get them. Can
This is another story that you guys talked about in your pod, but it's one of our favorite stories of all fucking time, and it's the Timmy 9/11 story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you mind giving a rundown of that?
That blows my mind.
It's so good.
So we all lived in a dorm in Brooklyn Heights. And it was funny because it was like this thing where it was like not an official school dorm. It was like a general housing. Like if you lived in New York and you didn't get into your school housing, that's where you'd go. And so it was like the just laziest people without RAs. And it was pretty wild. And then like the first year we like were like just went off and like burnt the dorm down and stuff. We didn't burn it down, but I got in trouble for lighting it on fire.
For real?
For real, yeah. I didn't light it on fire. My friend lit it on fire, but I'm the person they saw. And it was a thing where I was so hungover, and I just got a phone call, and they're like, "We want to talk to you down in the office." And I was like, I have no idea. Like my memory, I'm born into the world right now. I don't know anything. before right now.
Yeah.
And I just got like flashes of this fire. And then like I went down and had this meeting and they were like interrogating me and they were like, hey, do you know anything about this fire? And I was like so sincerely like, no. Like and like as they told me about it, I was like, oh yeah. Like piecing my life back together. But yeah, I didn't set it and it was a whole thing.
How did he set it? Just gasoline?
No, he was a photo student. It was my friend Ivan, and he threw photochemicals down on it, so it was a chemical fire.
Oh, God.
And to make things worse, I guess there was like the building had this weird history, and I guess it had burnt down before.
Oh.
So I think actually that made it better because I think everything was like fireproof by that point.
Yeah.
They were like, all right, this could happen. But yeah. So anyways, so we get back to school. We're like, all right, this, like round 2, and that's September 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a room on the 11th floor facing Brooklyn, and the whole World Trade Center thing happened. You know that thing.
Yeah.
Wait, look this up, Lauren. I don't know if I'm familiar.
Can we see a picture?
No, fine.
Look up the shot from Home Alone 2 just so I can get it.
So the whole World Trade Center thing happened, and it was like crazy. And Timmy was across the hall from us and was like, "Hey, do you want to watch the news from my room?" And so we're like, yeah. And so everyone would kind of migrate because I had the highest up room up to my room. And then like kind of, and so we became friends with Timmy on 9/11. And then Trevor and Ivan, the guy who lit that fire, kind of took a liking to him and one day decided they would just kidnap it. And so they were like, hey, should we kidnap Timmy? And they're like, okay. And the other thing about this dorm that was really funny was we figured out, I say this like it's a thing, but we like a Fonzie thing, but it was much less than that. We figured out you could kick in the doors, which is basically that you could like break the doors if you kicked hard enough. And so they like kicked in Timmy's door and threw a pillowcase over his head, and their whole thing was that they were gonna like tie his hands and put him on a subway to Coney Island because there's a subway station. And they were like pulling him out of the dorm, and they were going, it's his birthday. It's his birthday. When that passed, and he was going, it's not my birthday. And then he like got out and like ran off. Apparently, eventually it was all. But that was like the start of us being friends with Timmy. Was 2 disasters.
Yeah,
That's so
that's
fucking
incredible.
funny, dude. Holy shit.
Taking a quick break from the episode, guys. All right, shout out to our partner, Fireball. Fireball whiskey is the perfect shot for a game day, whether you are grabbing some of those sneaky little shooters before going into the stadium or going big with a Fireball keg for your party. Whether it's a pregame shot in the tailgate lot or celebratory touchdown shot at the bar, no matter the method, Fireball is guaranteed to ignite your game day. Liam,
Yeah.
we love Fireball.
I love it.
We go to a lot of college tailgates.
Yeah, we do.
With Almost Friday, and my favorite little thing to do is sneak in a couple of those little cold shooters.
A little bit of a
Sneak
shoot.
1, sneak 2. I'm cruising. I'm buzzing for the game.
At the tailgate, boom. After the first quarter, boom. First touchdown. I like to save one just for the first touchdown and the last.
Oh, Leo, you are bad. You really know how to ignite your game day.
I really do.
Good Lord.
Good grief.
And Liam, right now, our fantasy football bet, you're going to owe me a Lego set, sir. You keep losing and losing and losing.
I know, my whole team's injured.
Well, now that I know I'm winning, I'm thinking we up the stakes and you give me the Death Star.
No.
Okay, we'll talk about it. Fireball's iconic cinnamon flavor tastes fire, and it goes down easy, making the ultimate crowd pleaser. Go pick up some from your local liquor store and join us in drinking Fireball during our game days this season.
Chubbies. My closet go-to lately has been the Chubbies Everywhere pants. I gotta be honest with you. They're lightweight, they're durable, and they're ready for whatever the day throws at you. Seriously, and the day's been throwing some pretty fucking crazy shit at me recently.
I really enjoy Chubby's pants. And I like their shorts, but it's becoming pants season, and those Chubby's pants Oh, they are comfortable. Oh, they look stylish. I was rocking some at our live show. Believe it or not, this last weekend I was wearing Chubbies. I'm so bummed that I have to do laundry because I hate taking off Chubbies.
For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners 20% off your order with our exclusive code. Use code Friday20 at chubbiesshorts.com. That's use code Friday20 at chubbiesshorts.com, okay? Don't be left behind, dude. Just wear some Chubbies. They're the best thing ever. They should be in your top drawer.
In my top drawer every morning is a 45 revolver with one bullet in it. And I go up to your door and I open your door very quietly about 4:30 in the morning, 4:55, somewhere between there. And I hold the barrel about an inch away from your head and I pull the trigger every morning. And then I go back to sleep. And then in my second drawer, I keep Chubbies because that's the first thing I put on when I get out of the shower.
Check out their website for their best deals of the year. Folks, for a limited time, our friends at Chubbies are giving our listeners 20% off with the promo code Friday20 at checkout at chubbiesshorts.com. That's 20% off your order with the promo code Friday20. Support our show and tell them we sent you this holiday season. Gift yourself and your loved ones with Chubbies. We kidnapped my friend one time, but we duct taped him. He was chasing us around all day. And
but we killed him. It's cool.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
We drowned him in a barrel. It was fine. But we dropped him off at his house, fully like legs duct taped in his hands, and we just dropped him off on his front lawn. And then we knocked on his door and we drove away. And we just saw his dad open the door, and we were like pretty young, to the point where we didn't even have a license. It was our buddy's brother driving us, and we just saw his dad like open the door and just be like, the fuck, man. And that was like the last thing I saw. And he's like, he's so tied up that he can't even move, so he's just like this on his lawn, and I just see his dad shake his head and drive off.
I love that he's upset at his how the fuck did you get yourself kidnapped?
Yeah, that was Ben. That was just
nice, yeah. I had a buddy who told me like a kidnapping story where he was like, yeah, we were all like, they had one buddy who was sober and he was driving, but they were like, all right, we were like super wasted. One of my buddies like blacked out. So we drove like 7 hours away from their college. And when he woke up, he was like, where are we? And they're like, we're in Kansas. And I was like, yeah, but then you have to drive back 7 hours.
Yes.
It was insane. That was the whole bit, is that he woke up in Kansas and then they all have to drive back 7 hours.
That's so fucking
It's the most brain dead thing I've ever heard in my life.
I had a buddy who, when we were in Boston on the Miss March tour, he got drunk with us that night, and we we're leaving, and we're like, yeah, you should come with. We were going to Raleigh, North Carolina the next day, and he was like, sure. It's like, yeah. And then woke up on the bus and was like, yeah, we're headed to Raleigh. And he was like, fuck. And started looking up flight and then so he didn't have to work that day, but he had to work the next day. And he was like, oh, I have to fly out the next day, really. So he had to call our other friend that he worked with and was like, hey man, hey, just so you know, I'm going to be late because I'm flying in. It's like, you idiot. Well, you better not be late. And he was like, fine. And then it was one of those things where he was leaving so early. He was like, oh, I'm going to drink through the night and hang out and party with you guys and then get on my flight. And then he calls me. Then we went out, partied, and then went back to our hotels, slept. And then the next day woke up and went to breakfast, and he called me during breakfast and he was like, I missed my flight. And I was like, yeah, it makes sense. And he was like, yeah, well, I mean, I didn't miss it. And I was like, oh, and he's like, yeah, they wouldn't let me on. I was too drunk.
Oh God.
No.
Turns out that's not even true. He was at the wrong gate, and they were trying to tell him he was at the wrong gate. And he was just getting mad at them.
That's so vicious.
Yeah.
Dude. You had some fun flights yesterday.
Oh yeah, I missed 2 flights yesterday.
Yeah, you guys were just in New York, right?
Yeah, we were at the Bell House doing a live
Fun
show.
place.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Next time we're in LA doing our show, we'd love if you came.
Please.
Oh,
please,
yeah.
please.
Yeah.
But
I woke up to the Delta gate lady being like, hi, we're about to close boarding. Are you going to be here? And I was like, yeah. And then I just changed my flight to I was like, that's gone. And then I changed my flight to 3:40.
Wait, she called you?
Yeah, wait, do they do that?
They called me. Yeah. And they were like, "Hi, just so you know, we're about to."
Wait, were you in the airplane?
No, I was at the hotel, and I was like, "I'll be right there."
5 minutes.
I just lied.
How are you this important?
Yeah, that's what I didn't know they did that.
I don't know. They called
Yeah,
me.
if I am anywhere close to missing a flight, they're like, "Fuck you, you're dead to us." Like, try and make this flight. I would like to see you. Yeah.
And then the next one I had, I was like, well, I didn't realize it was going to take me an hour to get from Brooklyn to JFK, so that was a fuck up on my part. But I got there with still time, and then I looked at the app, and they had bumped my flight up by like 15 minutes. Because they were like running early, I guess, and everyone was on the plane except for me, so they just took it.
No, they don't do that. They don't.
It's never happened to me before. I swear to my
they
fucking.
do not bump flights up.
They bumped my departure time up.
I mean, the first thing where they were calling you does not sound like the airlines I know, but the like bumping it up and being like, "Screw you, everyone else is here," is very in line with the way.
And there was a bunch of other
treat
people
me.
there.
That seems like you should get all of your money back. Because if they're, I always have this nightmare, by the way, when I'm at an airport, that they're going to be like, yeah, everyone was here, so we left an hour early. Sorry, get fucked.
Yeah.
Like, even though it's like, that's never happened. So this is really surprising to me. That seems
is
illegal.
crazy.
That seems illegal.
Because I was cutting it close, but I was like, I'll be fine. I still have at least like some time to get on this plane. And then I was sprinting towards the thing, I shit you not, and I just see the lady closing the door to the thing, and I was like, "Bye!" Bye! And she just made eye contact with me and closed it. And I was like, fuck.
Middle finger.
Yeah. But
What did they do for you?
nothing. I just changed my flight again.
Oh my God. All right.
It was actually after I ran the marathon, like 3 weeks later, I had this trip to Europe, and I like was sober for the whole time I was training for the marathon. And then when I went to Europe, I was like, I don't fucking party. I already ran this marathon. I can drink as much as I want. And so I wasn't like good at drinking again. I lost all my drinking skill.
Mhm.
And the last night I was in Europe, I was in Spain with a buddy of mine, and we didn't have a hostel room that night, like a room to stay in that night. So we're just like, oh, we'll just, maybe hang out at bars, and then maybe just go to the bus station. Like, he had to go to the bus station, I had to go to the plane station. We'll just go early. And we like almost like we were like looking around for a bar to go to. We couldn't find one. And then around midnight, we found this bar that had like nothing on the walls. It looked like an art gallery without paintings on the walls, like just like white wall, like the most basic thing. All like cool looking Spanish kids like our age, and just played like 90s alt rock. And we were like, okay, yeah, Temple of the Dog. All right, man. Yeah. And like when I went and like was like talking to the bartender, he was like, "Oh, where are you guys from?" I was like, "I'm from Brooklyn." He was like, "You're from Brooklyn?" And he just started buying me drinks. And me and my buddy partied there till it was like, oh shit, I got to leave for my plane. And all of a sudden it was also like, oh shit, like between the two of us, we like barely have enough money to get me to the airport. So he gets me to a cab, convinces the cab driver to take me for the amount of money we have. I get in the cab and I'm like, oh shit, I might throw up. Like, that's a possibility here. And so I'm like focused, like so focused in not throwing up that I just like pass out in the back of the cab. And I just wake up to the cab driver going, airporto. And I'm like, and I just like jump out of the cab and I look around, and I'd been to the airport because I like stashed all my stuff there earlier. And I jumped out of the cab and I looked around and I realized like I'm in the wrong terminal. I don't know how big this airport is. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. It's also 5 a.m. and like everything's closed down. And I look around. I'm like right next to like that like ashtray where they like last cigarette kind of thing. I like it's a spittoon row up, but just like blah.
Yeah.
Ugh. And then wander around a Spanish airport for like an hour, and it keeps on getting this thing of like I'm doing this international flight from Spain to London to Reykjavik, Iceland, to New York. Like, that's all the connections I had to make. And I like also had a show I was going. I was like the worst planning ever, that I was like, yeah, I'll be on time for the show. And I go to get in line to get my ticket, and I'm like, all right, I should be good. And I get to the front, and the guy's like, you're in the wrong line. You have to get over here to this automated kiosk. Get to the front of that line. It says, you must see the gate attendant. So get back to the guy. I get in that line, and right now there's a Spanish guy that's getting in line at the same time as I am. And I'm like going, and he goes, you first. And he goes, you've been drinking. No, like I felt like I needed to lie. Like it's like my mom. And then they tell me I missed my flight, even though it's like the flight hasn't taken off yet, because they're like, it's international and you're packing stuff, so you missed the flight. And so I went to like complain, and they told me I had to like go to like the line to just rebook. And then I went to that line, and I'm also still complaining. They tell me to go to the complaints line. And I got in the complaints line finally, and it got to the point where when I got to the front of the line, they would just say next and take the person after me. Wow. Now, here's an embarrassing part of the story. This whole time, mind you, it's 2008. Styles were different.
Mm-hmm.
I was wearing a fedora. It was a cool fedora. I see pictures of myself, and I'm like, is that 2008 or is that 1960? What is this? The set of Mad Men?
You know what's funny is I was telling this story last podcast. I think in 2008, I was also wearing a fedora. So a bowler hat, but similar.
Yeah, it makes it was like it was not. It was cool, flipped
though.
up. It was flipped up.
It was not cool.
I have to like mention it because like now at this point when she was like, I got so upset that I went in between these two lines and I started yelling into my hat. And then I started biting my hat, and then like punching my hat. Yeah. And then I had like a moment of clarity where I was like, oh, if I don't stop this right now, I will get arrested.
Yeah.
Like that's like what's going to happen, and that's going to be harder to figure out. And so I just went up to the reschedule gate, and the gate, when I went to reschedule before, they were like, oh, there's no flight till tomorrow. And I was like, fuck. Can't, like I've got all these flights to make. And so I went back up, and I was like, hey, just get me out of Spain. Like I can't be in Spain anymore. Like, when can I get to London? And she goes, well, there is a flight in 45 minutes. I was like, yeah. And she goes, but there's only middle seats. Yeah. Like, yeah.
I don't care.
All right. Like, she like seemed like I was crazy for doing that. I don't know. But yeah.
Dude.
That's probably the biggest nightmare flight story I've ever heard.
I think I've puked at the airport more than any other human being. I swear to God, if I had to put a number on it, it'd be like 15. And
that's pretty good.
What about on airplanes?
On airplane, well, there's on airplanes several, like probably like 6 of the 15. But there was one time where we were leaving Nashville and I didn't eat for 48 hours. I just drank like a fuckload, and we were going, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna go puke. And I'm in the bathroom, and I just like close the door, and like as I close the door, I'm like, I got time. Like I'll set up shop, puke and a thing. As I close the door, I projectile vomit at the back of the door, and then like I'm freaking out, and I just turn. So it's like I just took a paint roller and just like an upside down L down to the thing, and I stood there, and the poor steward, like, I think the stewardess heard me, and then heard me just laugh like the Joker at the scene I just did, because I was like, like just like I can't believe I've done this, and I was in there for like 45 minutes cleaning up the mess, and I got back.
That's big of you.
Yeah, it was insane. I couldn't do it, but the only worst one I had was I was leaving like Philly, and as I'm getting out of like the Uber there, I'm like, I'm going to puke. I'm going to go right in. Hopefully there's a bathroom like before security. There was not. So I'm going through the security line. It's so long. And the whole time I'm just looking at my shoes and like closing my eyes. And I didn't want to look up at the lights or anything. That's how hungover I was. And so I finally get almost all the way there. and there's like a little trash can right where everyone's putting their shit. And I'm looking around. I'm like, I'm gonna have to puke right now. And I did the same thing where I just like acted real cool about it, like I was just like spitting something, and I just like tried to keep my body still so nobody would see like the recoil.
Yeah.
And like made no noise, but it was like definitely puke, and like definitely I just puked. And I looked around and nobody had seen me except for this one girl who just saw me, and I'm looking, everyone's got their backs turned, and she's just like, and I was like, felt so much better. I was like, be quiet. You didn't see any of our secret.
It's like one of those patients from Shutter Island.
Yeah.
I have rope burn around my neck.
I on Cape. I'm from the Cape, and
Sandwich Mash, shout out.
Yeah, Sandwich Mass, yeah. And there's Scorton Creek there, which is like this like tidal creek where, like if there's like a fisherman's landing there, and it like runs through a salt marsh, and so what we used to do is like get a bunch of rafts and like go to one end and then have someone park their car at the other end. And there was this one day I remember we were like, hey, should we go tubing today? And everyone's like, yeah. And it came together like really quickly. We had a party the night before, and at the party I had bought vodka, and that morning I had a thing of orange juice laying out. So I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna put this whole thing of vodka into this carton of orange juice. And then when we were tubing, I was just drinking this carton of orange juice, and by the end I was like fucked up, and I everyone was like having fun, like playing with like at the mouth of it shoots out really fast, but I was like, I have to go sit down, I have to go like give myself a moment. And so I sat in the backseat of my car, which is like the guy sweating in the backseat of a car, like just trying not to throw like already like not a pretty sight. And I remember there was these two girls that were walking past me, and they were like old enough to be like walking on their own, but young enough that if they saw someone puking, they would react as big as you possibly could react. And I'm sitting there, I feel it come up, and I did the grossest thing, which is I caught it in my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
And then swallowed.
Yeah.
And then like they walked past, and it's like you're only like kicking the can down the road once, and they but it was like enough so that they walked past, and then I just threw up everywhere.
Yeah,
wait,
vicious.
We got to show them the video of the guy puking in his own mouth. This is one of our favorite videos of all time.
We've watched this video probably 5 or 6 times on the pod, and it's so stupid, but it's become a joke we do now, where we just do this. But
great.
Angus got really good at a fake puke.
And actually, I do it on stage at the live show now. It's a new bit we added, and it's murdering.
Yeah.
A fake puke?
Yeah.
Fake puke and swallow.
Yeah. It's really good.
Pretty good.
It's really good.
Kind of become my premiere act.
Yeah.
Well, you want to slack it?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right here. Just look up on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. It's real quick.
This is it.
One more. Wait, get the audio. Oh my god.
He like doesn't break eye contact.
It's insane.
That guy is focused.
Yeah. That's
That
that's like Russell Wilson out there.
Yeah, so
Have you seen
good.
like the guy that throws up? He's like promoting a movie, and he throws up on the morning news, and he like immediately apologizes.
No, what is this?
My friend growing up could puke on command. On command, like you would just say puke and he could do it, to the point where the doctor said he had to stop doing it because he was burning a hole through his stomach lining.
Well, if he stops puking on command, how's he going to make money?
I don't know what he does now. Actually, he's a listener. Shout out on ops.
I had a friend, or my brother's friend actually, was on Guy Fieri's show.
Whoa.
And she was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna get fucking wasted. Fuck this show. I'm gonna get wasted. And then like she got wasted and then was just drunk on Guy Fieri. Like was just like Guy Fieri was coming and like trying to pump up their restaurant, and she's like, oh yeah.
Wait, was it diners, drive-ins, and
yeah. It's like one of those things where it's like you think you're gonna like oh fuck this, I'm gonna just get wasted and do this, and then you're like, oh, why am I wasted?
The only thing worse than losing your hair is waiting forever for it to grow back. That's why you need Hims. You can start seeing your hair grow back.
Nope. All right, can we get Liam a coffee, please?
You can start seeing your hair grow back in as little as 3 to 6 months. Hims provides you with convenient and quality access to a range of hair loss treatments that work all from the comfort of your couch, okay? Hims makes treating hair loss simple with doctor-trusted options, clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil that can regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months.
I have some of that. Finasteride.
Nice. The process is simple and 100% online, so there are no uncomfortable doctor's visits. Yeah, that was it.
It's like, what?
Hims has hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, and they can help you get your confidence back with visibly thicker and fuller hair. Okay, start your free online visit today at hims.com/Friday. That's HIMS.com/Friday for your personalized hair loss treatment options. Hims.com/Friday. Moving to crackers while we're on.
Yeah, sure. We have a segment where we watch some videos online. It's very brief, but we'd love to show you some.
Okay, all right.
Cracker of the Week. Cracker of the Week.
Oh, okay. I didn't mean to pull this up now, but we have a message from Emily.
Oh,
okay,
this is
great.
our producer. She's getting her tonsils out.
She got her tonsils out on Friday.
Is she wasted on painkillers?
I would love it if she pulled out a bag of yogurt, like huge
wait,
trash
listen.
bag of yogurt. Just like a ladle.
She's got a Camelback. It's just all yogurt coming up slowly.
Emily, you're looking great.
Emily, you look dynamite, girlfriend.
She's killing it.
What up, guys? It's Jarvis. My tonsils are out of here. These nurses are such fucking bitches.
Oh!
It's like the most Emily thing to say.
You'd think that that's her on painkillers, but that's how she operates, actually, 24 hours.
Oh, that's her speed.
No,
Anyway.
she definitely seems wasted.
Is her last name Jarvis, or does she like to compare herself to the Iron Man?
We call her Jarvis when
Oh,
we're
yeah.
say
because she's
Jarvis.
like she's like the AI of our pod.
Yeah. I hope none of those nurses watch this.
Yeah, that's
no.
insane. That's just crazy.
Listen,
I say 3, but I'm only going to do one of them.
I only have one, I think.
All right,
It's
which one do you want?
it's that's that one, the missing
Huh?
person one. Yeah, we can start. This is a good one.
It sounds fun.
It was a news story.
Investigators think Ryan Borgart didn't drown in this lake, but instead say he faked his own death to run off with a woman he met online.
He purchased some airline coupons that he took out a life insurance policy earlier in the year.
The 45-year-old was first reported missing August 12th when he didn't come home after kayaking on this lake near his home in Wisconsin. Police finding a capsized kayak and Borgart's car parked nearby. An army of search and rescue volunteers began scouring the lake to bring him home.
What a waste of time that we did. We put so much time and effort into that case.
Investigators became suspicious after they found out Borgart's name had been checked by Canadian law enforcement August 13th, the day after his disappearance. Borgart had been communicating with a woman in Uzbekistan and even moved money to a foreign bank before disappearing.
Yeah.
How wild is that? I mean, he's got a full family. Fakes his own death because he's been online dating some chick from Uzbekistan.
yeah. And also, he was on a kayak trip with a buddy.
Yeah, that he didn't know that well.
Yeah.
Starting to sound familiar.
You ever
Start realizing I look a lot like this guy.
It'd be so. You ever think about faking your own death and doing moving to Uzbekistan and leaving your family behind?
Well, being in like the comedy troupe in New York, like post 9/11, we always would wonder about the guy who threw his driver's license in especially it's like Wall Street and all that. Someone who's having a bad time at Wall Street and was like, huh, this is a way out, and just throws his driver's license in the rubble and walks away.
That'd be a good movie.
Oh, he does that, and then
A guy-
9/11 happens.
Yeah,
after?
yeah, guys who's about to do something crazy like that. 9/11 happens where it's just like the perfect out for him to disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is crazy to me too, because like it sounds like a child who learned how to fake his own death from a cartoon. He like left his wallet and like his keys in a fishing pole nearby.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but I want to know what the follow up was on this because he's out. Like he's obviously like he dipped. I don't think he's coming back.
he could be.
Can we see what he's up to?
Yeah, check it out.
Maybe
Bogart?
he's bringing her back.
Yeah. How much trouble do you get in?
Probably a fuckload. I bet they fine you a lot of money for.
But he's already
like-
he's already gone.
It's true. He's out of the country.
If he's
so.
planning to
Oh,
not come
yeah.
back, he probably don't care.
Yeah. So sad.
Yeah, pretty sad. Nice bummer of a video.
Oh,
It's crazy.
So we're showing bummer videos. Is that
Apparently,
I thought it was-
sometimes Liam goes rogue with these videos.
sad porn.
I thought, yeah, sad porn gifts. I thought it was inspiring. I thought it was
Well, which one do you
inspiring
want?
to
I think both are pretty short. Might as well click both.
because even though he didn't get away with it, he got away with it. You know. Oh, this is my other one.
I'm Raven, Hirasid Bath, Princess of the Darkness. And I'm Tara. And we're sitting here in Tara's room, rocking out to MCR and celebrating 2009 or the new year. Which we don't really understand why people are making such a big deal about it, because really, one more year is one more year that everyone's closer to death.
That's just one of my
That's-
favorite videos of
that's
all time.
awesome.
Those are
Two goth 12-year-olds in 2009. Just
I
like,
love that.
yeah,
cool.
they're
That
they're
is
awesome.
pretty killer.
Didn't know how good they had it.
Oh, this
Dude, you
I know,
came
this-
locked and loaded.
You can go to
oh wait, is
Angus's.
this yours, Liam?
Yeah, sorry, these are
sorry.
mine. This is just LARPing
Oh,
videos.
Oh, wait, this one.
This guy gets domed in the face.
I've done LARPing before.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
it's so sick. I'll get into it. Speaking of LARPing,
Oh, I love this video.
Initiate Aaron! Approach!
For the audios,
I mean, how sick is this?
this is a guy.
I will never in my life have a community like this.
No,
You have no idea how, and I'm not even joking, how jealous I am of this.
Right of council, I'm a little force, and I name you. Jai Apprentice, rise and speak your name.
Storm Chaser.
Storm Chaser!
Aww.
When I was in, yeah, it's genuinely like, that's awesome.
it's awesome.
When I was in 5th grade, going into a new school, there was a medieval class, like summer camp thing, where we would learn about like what they would do in medieval times. Like we'd learn like calligraphy. We would learn like how they would like do their version of like what do you call it when there's like manners when you're eating? It's like a specific term for it.
Oh.
Like there's a specific way you eat and approach like dinner and stuff. Anyway, we would learn all that in medieval history. And the big project we did that summer was we built a trebuchet, like a 6-foot tall trebuchet.
What's a trebuchet?
Is that like a catapult kind of thing?
Not even close. Not, but I get why you might think that, but no, they couldn't be further apart. Look up a trebuchet. Man, you guys are so green. I love it. Yeah, go to images. So a trebuchet.
It is
What
a catapult.
the fuck?
That is a catapult.
No, it's
You are
not.
such a dick.
No, because catapults have nothing to do with angular momentum, but you wouldn't understand that. That's fine.
That's exactly what I was picturing in my head.
No, I know. It's like a big joke that like people are. Anyway, so we built one and we would like launch rocks like 200 yards or something on the football.
Launch them into the girls'
Wait,
locker room.
this was in school?
We'd launch stink bombs in the girls' locker room.
You were learning that? Like, this was a
This summer
class?
camp thing.
Oh, summer.
Dude,
And,
what type of autism do you have that your parents sent you to summer camp to build trebuchets?
What do you mean?
You fucking
You know
freak.
exactly what type I have. Don't act like this is new information.
I was
You just didn't know it manifested this
I was
way.
building trebuchets.
Yeah, dude.
during the summer.
I was
Although-
sick as fuck.
If I was like, if someone was like, hey, come to this summer camp, it's filled with autism fun, I'd be like, okay.
That's the
yeah.
best type. You get to hyperfixate on something every day for a month. You get nothing else worth out. But this is the best part. We built armor and using like pool noodles and duct tape, we built weapons. So like swords and spears and shields out of wood that we painted. And we had a medieval battle on the football field. And it was literally one of the best days of my life, where we all got to just hyper fixate on this. And our teacher was like the referee, like going around like watching battles and like making sure that we were like, you know.
How funny would it be if just at the January 6th there was just a summer camp of kids with 2 trebuchets and pool noodled, and like 80 kids get off a bus and they're like, we're gonna take that place. You're just lodging fucking.
Oh, that's the next one. Maybe we'll start
the
that.
cops would be like what the fuck are we gonna do about this trebuchet?
This trebuchet's doing some damage, dude. It's got distance.
Are we allowed to shoot these children?
They're putting kids in the trebuchet and they're just launching at it with the pool.
What are we gonna do about this catapult? Hey, that's a trebuchet.
Wait, go on YouTube and look up Bollywood catapult. Just look that up. But yeah, the best part of this trip was that at the end, you go to the second one. At the end, actually go to the third one. I'm sorry.
Go to the first one.
We went to medieval times. I mean the third one, but the one up above that.
Yeah.
That was an ad. So yeah. But we went to medieval times and we were all watching like, God, we're never going to be. This is the peak. We're never going to be these guys. Everything we learned was a lie. This is us at the January 6th rally. Go full screen. Just into AOC's office. All right, that was it. Isn't that the sickest scene?
Yeah,
you've
wait,
ever
what
seen?
movie is this? This is sick.
Where did
I don't
you
know.
find this?
Basketball?
I know Bollywood gets like made fun of, but there is a Bollywood. I've only seen one, and it was RRR. And it was genuinely one of the most fun experiences I've had watching a movie.
I gotta watch that.
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. I know of it.
It's really fun.
I know the guy who's like in charge of like distributing it.
Sure.
And so I was like, oh, cool.
It was fantastic. It's like a musical. It's very epic, and it's just fun. It's just fun. I think it's like this is considered their like Sound of Music, like one of their best movies ever made.
Sam, what's your favorite sketch you guys made? Top 3.
There was one that I was just like, oh, like they're they've got a place in my heart for all of them, but there's always like something that like comes up and I'm like, oh, I really love thinking about this one lately. There's one that I've been thinking about a lot lately, which is funny. Is the one where the girl's on a date with the guy and the guy's gonna order dog poop, and it's just her inner monologue of like, "Don't order the dog poop." Don't order the dog poop. And it's just like him being like, "Oh, like there's the dog poop," but then there's also
I don't think I've seen that one.
clams.
What was that? Was that on the?
I think it was on the 5th season.
Okay,
it was one of the later ones,
and that will be on the DVD.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Hell's Kitchen one I really like, which is where it's the devil. It's such a weird rabbit hole of a thought process where it's the devil telling a bunch of people to like cook gross things in hell. And then it cuts to like thousands of years down the line and the people aren't grossed out by the gross things anymore. And he's kind of like, well, what's wrong? And they're like, it's not. And he's like, well, what if you cooked good things? And they'd be like, oh, that'd be a change. And then it's the devil cooking good things. And it cuts to heaven and God gets a phone call and he's like, he's doing what? And then it like cuts to like church and it's like a guy who's bored, who's just like sitting there while the priest is kind of droning on about this story of the devil cooking good things. It's such a weird thought process, but yeah. And then I don't know, all the other ones suck. and then the other one's all
What was
So we had those two. Pretty good.
You built a whole career off
There are
of
130 ones I'm not proud of. What was the thought process on the inception of The Grapist?
So I know that's everyone's favorite pick. That is my favorite sketch. Like that makes me
I have a
laugh so
funny
hard every
relationship
time.
with the Grapist, which is like I am the Grapist.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is that like when I'm like posting a picture on Instagram, everyone's like, "Oh, you gonna grape that girl?"
Yeah.
And the girl I'm in the picture with might not even ever have seen my show.
Yeah.
And so that's not a good look, guys. Like, and then also like I get people being like, "Oh man, the grapes, I got expelled for school for telling a girl I was going to grape her." It's like, dude, like I'm proud of that lesson that you got from our sketch.
Yeah.
But I do think it is like, I love the way that the Grapist is written. And like, it was definitely like in season 3, we all lived in LA for a month because we usually all lived in New York, but Trevor and Zach were finishing Miss March. And so to finish the writing, we all moved out to the same building and we were all like living. It was like all of a sudden we're back to the dorms again.
Mm-hmm.
And one night he was like, "Oh, wouldn't it be funny if there was a mascot for a grape juice called the Grapist?" And we're like, "Yeah." And the thing that I loved about the way that was written, though, was that like we like joked around about like the commercial, and then like immediately got like kind of bored of that, and then we're like, "All right, well, what's funnier than that is that there's a guy that had to pitch this."
Yeah, that's great.
And then we like joked around about that, and then we're like, "Well, is it funnier that like the guy is pitching this awful thing, or is it only funny that like only one person in the room realizes it?" And then like that's kind of how I think that's like kind of the staying power of that sketch, is that it like kind of evolves throughout to keep the joke alive. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm fucking nerd. Like I get nerdy about sketch stuff in that way.
I think my favorite sketch of all time, like not even just your guys, like in general, is Gal and a PCP.
Yes,
I think
so
it's
funny.
I think it's like when you look at it, like there's nothing. There's two guys, and then a guy, and there's a gal and a PCP, and there's no there's nothing. There's no bells and whistles. That's it. And it's one of the like Zach in that sketch is just like they're the way they're interacting. And one guy's just like, "Yep."
It's so like there's such a relatable thing about it. I love that one too. I mean, like it's such a weird sketch too, because it's like there's a really like transactional thing about their interaction that's like very relatable, where it's like when you see someone who, like you haven't seen in years and you're like, "Hey," and they're like already like 1 foot out the door.
Yeah.
And they have this thing that's like really interesting to them, but not or really interesting to you, but like they're like, "Oh no, this is just me. This is just my life. This is just normal." And you're like, "Yeah, well." I also love that like the little detail of that we had the guy be way more successful. Zach's character is like way more successful than Trevor's character.
Yeah, it's like it's boring.
So what do you do? I work. The weird thing about that sketch is he says he works at a Binko's, and there's people who are like, what the hell is a Binko's? I'm like, "Oh, it's a Kinko's," and they're like, "What's a Kinko's?" And you have to go, "Oh, those used to be called FedEx offices, used to be called Kinko's." And they're like, "Oh, that's boring." And you're like, "Yeah." But it's just one of those things where it's like, "Oh, I'm old. Fuck." Like,
Where'd you guys film that?
that was most of it was in New York. That I think all of Whitest Kids was filmed in New York, except for like one episode's worth of sketches. And that was 23rd Street in a park by the Flatiron Building. I don't think you're asking me the specific ad. Can I drop pin you?
Yeah. Just text me that after.
Were we by there? I don't know. This is my first time in New York. It was awesome. I don't know if I could live there because it was like, I mean, I saw the sunrise twice, and I was just like,
yeah,
it's kind of scary.
I had to. when I came to live in LA, and then like when we were shooting one of the seasons, I like went back to New York, and I like had to like give up drinking for the year because I was like, or for that time, because I was like, yeah, it's just like out in LA, there's people telling you to stop drinking.
Yeah.
And in New York, no one's telling you to stop, and everything is like, yeah, just here, we got these trains that you can get on, so you don't have to drive anywhere.
Yeah.
And, yeah. It was a wild place to like spend your 20s. That is like the thing with it is like LA, there's like a lot of like comforts, and you know, like you can get a nice place out here, you can have a nice car. In New York, it's like hard living. It's like even if you're like successful, you're still kind of like have to deal with the bullshit. And
Yeah, it felt like when I was there, it was awesome, but it was like there doesn't seem like there would be a chill place to live. Like you wouldn't be able to relax waking up on like a Saturday, I feel like.
that's the thing I know. Like we went back we had a movie at the Tribeca Film Festival, and I was like walking around, and it was like, oh, like New York is like everyone's living room. Like everyone in New York is just like, when you're out, you're like there's people on the phone who are like, yeah, got this weird wart on my ass. It's fucking weird looking. And that's just like the New York vibe, is that if you're out, you're just like that's your home. And in LA, everyone gets to hide in their little caves.
Yeah. That's what we've built a serious cave. We live together now. We built a serious cave we're hiding away in.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's pretty awesome. We got a bunch of new cool movie posters we're going to put up in our apartment.
Oh, sick.
Dude,
You wouldn't believe them. Actually, we'd love if you came to check them out. I think you'd really like them.
I would love that.
Could you sign our New Hope poster?
Star Wars? Are you kidding me?
It's unreal. Goodfellas?
Wait, you guys have
unreal.
seen Star Wars? I thought no one's seen that. You guys got all the systems?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do.
We got the systems, dude.
We got the system.
What about you? You got the systems? I know you got a baby.
I got a baby, but I got my PS5.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, we combined all of our stuff, so now it's like there's no reason to ever leave our apartment.
Yeah, and we can sit next to each other and co-play. We don't
Actually, we put up 2 TVs. We're playing Call of Duty next to each other when we should be like, I don't know, doing
anything else.
Yeah.
Anything fucking else.
That was when Pandemic hit and Warzone came out.
Oh yeah.
My then girlfriend, now wife, was like, you can't play video games for 8 hours straight. And I was like, but I can.
But actually, and I told this story last pod, during COVID, I was playing Warzone as well. And I had my legs up and I was trying to clutch a match, and I pooped my pants because I was farting and I poop came out.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I got to start looking for a job. This is really sad.
Yeah, I mean, I still have I think videos on. I think both me and Zach have YouTube channels with videos of us winning Warzone matches.
Were you streaming, or was it a just
recorded?
Yeah. Nice.
There is a video of Zach. I've talked about this on another podcast where he was streaming, and he's really good at video games and plays the Dark Souls games and all that, and
Elden Ring. I'm quite obsessed with them.
Oh, Elden Ring. Dark Souls and stuff. I like it. I haven't beaten a Dark Souls game. I've gotten into them and played them pretty far, but I've beaten Elden Ring.
Oh, it's unbelievable,
and it's great. It's great, but Zach has beaten all of them multiple times.
Yeah.
And he was, when we were streaming to raise money for our Mars movie, he was like, I'm going to do a no death run. And we'd do these 3-hour streams where and he finally did it. And this is the guy that fucking made Barbarian.
That's insane.
I was at the theater, like when that premiered. I've never seen him more accomplished than this clip of him beating a no death run of
That's
Demon
incredible.
Souls. He was
it was Demon Souls.
Yeah. He was just elated and just
Barbarian's so fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, it is.
That's so. And so, what's funny, when we saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
And I didn't know Zach made it.
I had no idea.
There's that one scene where Zach's making the cameo as a friend at the back of his head, and we're leaving. And during the movie, I lean over Angus. I'm like, oh, that's fucking Zach Cregger. I'm like, that's so fucked up, dude. They only showed the back of his head. I was like,
probably gonna be so mad.
I was like, he's probably so pissed. That sucks. And then it was just like written and directed by Zach Cregger. And I was like, oh, okay, that was intentional.
Do you know he loves your guys' stuff?
That's so
that makes me feel great because I mean, yeah, we're such big fans of all of you guys. So it's awesome.
Yeah, it like came up. Like he brought it up, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I've done a sketch with them."
Yeah.
He was like, "What?"
That's so sick.
And I was like, "Well, dude, you made Barbarian. That's cool."
I made cool dad. I made your friend's dad.
Yeah,
sure.
I loved when we made that sketch. There was like, you know, talking about like geeking out about sketches is like at the end of that we were like I forget what the written ending was, but on the spot one of you guys came up with like that you should be like proud of your dad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that was like, that's like, I love those details, those like moments of like, oh, I'm gonna flip the expectation here, and
yeah,
that naturally goes to the guy being like ashamed of his dad, and everyone, like, the joke is everyone's into it, but like it's like, yeah, that's one of the things I love about sketch comedy is like having an eye for that, for like that expectation.
I think that's my favorite thing too, is like writing it and then on the spot finding like, I think my favorite part is writing, and I honestly don't like the shooting that much. I don't know how you feel, but those moments are what makes the shooting fun.
It's like a necessary evil.
Yeah.
That was my favorite shoot we've ever done because one, it was like so sick meeting you and then getting to work with you, and then seeing you just riff was awesome. But then in between takes, every single time we just get into like, we'd just be asking you Whitest Kids questions, and we'd be telling a story, and then our director would be like, all right, guys, we got to get into another take. And then we'd cut and just go right back into it. But especially when you were like riffing on that, and I was like, get in the hole.
Oh, yeah, that was the best part.
In the hole.
That was the best part.
I was like, I'm going to rape you.
And he was like,
it was cool.
That was so fucking
That was a
awesome.
very cool moment for us. So appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
And hey, maybe another one coming up soon if you got time.
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck yeah. We should. I figured like, do you have any, because a lot of stand-up comedians after they have a kid, like their next hour is like so many dad jokes. Do you have any like dad sketches you've been thinking of?
I have a really dark, I mean, this might be like so dark you might like have to cut this.
Okay.
But like I've been thinking about this thing. You know Sandy Hook? You guys know about Sandy Hook,
Look
right?
this up, Warren. I don't know what open a new tab of 9/11 and do Sandy Hook.
Oh, that was that fake thing, right? That didn't happen?
It's like I saw that documentary about them suing Alex Jones.
Yeah.
And like he gets sued for like
everything.
$2 billion or something crazy.
Like, yeah, something crazy like that. It's like, and everyone's like just has this moment of like catharsis of like, this guy is fucking, but like, who's the dad who's like, oh, yeah, dude, what are you gonna get? Like, dude, I gotta call my boss. I gotta quit. Like, I gotta. Oh,
I'm gonna get a boat.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a boat. I'm gonna name it Alex Jones.
Maybe I'll give it my kid's name, but
oh god,
no, I'm gonna name it Alex Jones.
You gotta tell Tyler that sketch. He's gonna fucking love that one.
He's painting. It just cuts to him with a sailor's hat on. He's just like, wind's blowing. He's painting the A. Like, someone's bringing him a pina colada. He's like, you know what?
He's gonna christen it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
holy shit.
I was thinking about throwing a party. We're just gonna kind of. Oh yeah.
We're gonna have flogging Molly at our party. Somehow we got them.
Yeah. I don't know. Caleb would have wanted that one.
I'm gonna go on spring break. I've never done that. I'm going to Cabo.
You know, it's funny. I was like, when we had Caleb, I was like, maybe he's gonna be one of those actor kids. But then he like wasn't cute, and so it's really paying off.
I wanted him to go to the NFL so that, you know, this is kind of like that.
Did you now? If I remember correctly, last time we were shooting with you. You were saying you were doing a lot of live stuff. Is that true? Am I remembering that?
I'm doing stand up. Yeah.
Well, I know you're doing stand up, but I think like theater stuff.
Oh, I did do a live show then. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did the one show and then was like,
okay, but that's not
that's
not a consistent thing you do.
No, that was just sort of like, like an opportunity came up where a bunch of people were like, hey, let's put on this show, and we put up a live kind of sketch theater hybrid kind of thing. That one we had the craziest idea, which was we sold tickets on Eventbrite, and so when that happens, you get a list of everyone who's coming to your show, and so the whole show was this whole thing of this dinner party. It was kind of making fun of those like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf type like basic plays where it's like, oh, it's just like these two couples having a dinner party together. But throughout it, my character would go, hey, that reminds me of a sketch. And we would just do a sketch. And then eventually the characters realized that they were like in a sketch show. And,
I like that.
And then at the end of it, the one character's like, I'm breaking up with you and I'm going to marry this guy. And it's just some random guy in the audience. And the guy's finally like, wait, what is going on? Like, who are all these people in the theater? And then we did one of my favorite things, which was, we went, oh, you're all their husband and they're all your wives. And then we showed a montage of clips of the actor with his face photoshopped with all the people in the audience. So people had no idea that their faces would be on this, but we could look it up because we had their names and like so awesome. Ahead of time, like kind of stalked them.
That's awesome.
And got their pictures. And then they were like, everyone was like, kind of like, oh, I recognize that. Oh, weird. That's me. Like, so that was a fun thing. Sick. Yeah.
Well, Sam, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, dude. We're big fans and appreciate
massive
time. And so the box set again, it comes out December
3rd.
Sweet, go get that.
And it's all the sketches. Is there any commentary on it or
There's sketch. There is commentaries from the original DVDs, and then there's also these. When COVID happened, we did all these streams, and we would on the streams watch the sketches and do these like kind of talk about the sketches after we watched them. A bunch of them we edited and put up on our YouTube channel, but a bunch of them we hadn't done anything with. And so those are all on the DVD. And what's cool about that is that was with Trevor.
And you get to see the first time you guys performed live, or one of the first times?
One of the first time, not the first time we performed live, but like when we did our original Pianos run. And
yes.
Yeah. But like some of the sketches that are in that are the first times we performed those sketches. Yeah.
Is Piano still around?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. I gotta check that.
It's so weird because it's like you go in like New York, everything changes like so quickly. And we go back and it's like there's all these like vape stores around where it was, and then like you walk in the doors and it's like the same exact bar.
Sure.
That's awesome.
The same exact nachos that they had 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, that's fantastic.
Well, cool, dude. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for having me.
You're the best, dude.
Bye, everyone. Say bye to Sam. They're all waving back at the camera now.